All right, a little later than usual. Just got busy really. Was out all day Saturday and Sunday. I was editing a lot of videos. Monday forgot moving Monday from second channel, and then got behind on videos and streams. Monday and Tuesday work. Wednesday yesterday was my birthday. Went out, came back. Finally had time to stream on Twitch, and then I streamed my Premier League predictions because I realized, wait a second, that's on Friday. I got to do that. And now we got the AFL tips. Doing this last because the next stream will be AFL for live reactions, so it's easier not to change the description constantly. I just have to change hashtags for the next stream. But the latest one I've ever done. It's Thursday, it's 4 a.m. on Thursday morning. I got work today, so I gotta go to bed, but this is the last thing I do before I go to bed. I got five. I took a few risks. I mentioned this last week, but I said I wasn't winning the comp anyway. I was falling too far behind. There's not enough rounds to catch up, so let's take a few more risks. One of those risks was Richmond. Didn't pay off. I thought they'd do something because obviously they're fighting for the finals, but they were never in the game. Dogs just dominated from start to finish. And the other risk I took was St Kilda. That didn't pay off either, so it is what it is. Got Essendon correct against West Coast, only just. Got Adelaide correct against Gold Coast. Tipped Collingwood to beat Hawthorn, thought that would happen. Didn't happen, so I'm happy that as a Hawks fan, I'm happy that we beat them. That was an amazing feeling. Geelong beating Port Adelaide, I got that correct. Port Adelaide have now lost 4 in a row. It's pretty crazy. Geelong are on a resurgence a little bit. Sydney beat GWS. I got that wrong. I tipped GWS. Sydney pulled it off, so fair play to them. I got Melbourne correct against North Melbourne, and I got Brisbane correct against Fremantle. Only just that one as well. Another incredible round. In my comp, I've got 1, 2, 1, 7 behind. In my comp, Nikki or Nissy or whatever. Got 128 tips. He is top, or she. I can't tell with that name. Could be either gender. Maka, he's got 127. So is Ali. We got Ben on 126 and Shannon. Shannon also could be a boy or girl's name. Benjamin has got 125. Okay, fair enough. And I'm just down here. Yeah, me and Chanko living it up. Who's down here? Aiden. Not even at 100 yet, guys. Come on, you got 20. You got 3 rounds to get 20 tips. You can do this. I have faith in you. I believe this guy will get it. He'll get 9 tips in 3 rounds. I believe in you guys. Aiden and Kev M. Let's give him some support. We can get everyone to 100 tips. All right, we can do it. With the amount of risks I've taken this season, and I've got over 100. Surely they didn't play a few rounds. They must have gotten a few rounds. Like, how else would that have worked? Like, genuinely. Overall ranking, someone's got 138. Two people got it actually. So, yeah, it is how it is over there. I'm gonna save the top one till last. I'm gonna save Essendon to beat North. Essendon have lost form. They've lost a lot of form. I think that Geelong loss was where it started. They've not been good enough. They have beaten West Coast only just as well. North, I think, have a chance. They do have a chance. But I'm going to tip Essendon. I'm going to say they find a way to win. Or maybe their form maybe they find their confidence again. I don't know. Sydney, I think, will beat Gold Coast off the back of that Giants victory. Brisbane, I think, will beat Adelaide. Is at the Gabba. No one has won there this season. The Brisbane Lions have made it quite the fortress. It would be crazy if Adelaide could put it off, but I don't think they will. But, they've been competitive with the Magpies in Melbourne at the MCG, so I guess you never know. But the Lions at the Gabba, no one wins there. Absolutely no one. So, not this season anyway, so we shall see. Oh, I'll leave this till last as well. This is Fremantle. I think we'll beat West Coast. West Coast last time did okay against Rio for 3 quarters, right, and then last quarter fell off. But I think this time Freo will also win more comfortably. The Dogs, I think, will beat Hawthorn 100%. I know I was 100% sure of Collingwood beating Hawthorn, but Western Bulldogs will beat Hawthorn. They will beat Hawthorn, even in Tasmania. St Kilda Richmond. This could go either way. I'm gonna go Richmond though. I have just more faith in them than St Kilda. Yes, I know Richmond were very bad last weekend's Western Bulldogs, but the Saints are not much better, really. But if the Saints do find a way to win, obviously they'll be back in a good position. But I think they'll lose and drop out the 8. Port Adelaide, I think, will beat the GWS Giants. So, yeah. Right, Carlton, Melbourne, and and Geelong, Collingwood. Right, so Collingwood, their form has dropped. Ever since that Carlton loss, their form has dropped. It has shown. They did have the Port Adelaide game, which is great, but their form has dropped and they got a big injury as well. It's not looking good for them. They look like a genuine contender, and I did predict them to win the minor premiership, which they probably still will. I mean, they're 2 wins ahead with 3 games left with a strong percentage. And they should win at least one of their 3 games. Who have they got anyway? Let's see who Collingwood have got. Brisbane at Marvel, not at the MCG. And Essendon. Oh, okay, that's 3 times. They could lose all 3. You never know. That would be crazy. They lost 4 until now, and well, 3 of them were against. One was against Carlton, who hate them, and the other 2 were against Melbourne and Brisbane, who are both in the top 4. So, I'll go with Geelong. I know Geelong aren't having a great season either, but I think off the back of the win last week and off the back of Collingwood's bad form and their injuries, I think Geelong can do it. Geelong by 2 goals. Carlton, Melbourne. A very interesting one. Carlton on a big streak. Carlton probably still believe they can get top 4, and it is possible right now. You never know. Port Adelaide on 4 losses in a row. You never know, Port Adelaide. And Brisbane could drop down for sure. Melbourne are just on the same amount of points as the other 2 I just mentioned. So anything could happen. I think Carlton do beat Melbourne. I think Carlton beat Melbourne. I think so. The Lions were close. The Crows were close. Those 2 were interstate. Carlton, on great form, can beat Melbourne. So yeah. Oh yeah, also the Giants have a good record away at Port Adelaide. Didn't mention that. But I don't think the good record continues this round. But yeah, I'm confident in Adelaide. I would not be surprised if the Giants won, but I'm confident in Adelaide. I'm confident in Richmond, actually, to be honest. I think they'll beat the Saints. The Dogs definitely will beat Hawthorn. Freo will beat West Coast, 100%. Carlton, I'm fairly confident in. Melbourne can definitely win the game, but I think it's very much possible that Carlton can win that one. Brisbane, I'm confident in. They're at the Gabba. Sydney, I'm confident in. I think they'll beat Gold Coast. Well, the Gold Coast have a few wins against Sydney and NCG. Some very good wins over there. Against stronger Sydney teams as well, but I think Sydney will win this one. Essendon, I think, will beat North Melbourne. Fairly confident, but Essendon, I can't be confident in them anymore. I used to be confident in them. They're not as convincing as they were. And Geelong, I think, can beat Collingwood, but not 100% confident. So, yeah, I feel like I'm more confident in Geelong and Carlton than Essendon. So I think that says quite a lot about Essendon's form and the way they're playing. I've not been impressed recently because they were very good. They were one of the best teams in the A at one point, and then they slipped down. But it is what it is, I guess. So, yeah, that is all from me. This is your boy Davidoff. Please like, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Have a good day and goodbye.